Oh, I was going to feed him. I guess I should do real food now. He ate most of a springbok, but that's okay. Probably happy with it. $11 zombie heads. My endurance went to. Oh no, you were following me, which is very bad. You're gonna get me killed. Come out. Come out. Go back in. Nice. This tree restored. Okay, I am looking for ice elemental. I'm going to sit before I fight. Did I mute? No. Okay. Now that's stealing. I see. So they're stealing in the town, but that guy didn't care what I stole. I like this game, but I don't think it's a very good game. It's very, very third party. And a bit below the standards of even Dragon's Dogma 1, I would say. The graphics are even below the standards of Dragon's Dogma 1. And that's hard. That's a hard thing for a game released in 2025.
Are you here to keep me calm? Just get. Oh, you don't. Hour. I just got. I mean. Oh, aye. Osprey may have. Thanks for it.
I think this is a good game, and it is like shots fired at the first party people. You know, like the AAA devs, and it's a AA effort. I don't have a lockpick yet. Oh, I do. This is so derivative of Bethesda. It's frankly, wow. But I didn't mind it though. Leather boots of roots. Okay. So boots of roots. Save. I like this game, but I don't think I could stay here. Unfortunately, it's like the combat's good, But I don't really see the point. I can't live in the world. I can't build. You can do a lot of things with this game, but I don't think it's done. I don't think it's even close to done. That killed me. Oh my fucking god. Are you serious? How long ago was that? I guess, yeah. I could see the fall damage being a thing, yeah. The death was very Elden Ring-ish. These guys always double aggro because I sit down. So annoying. This was the checkpoint coming over here. This was a checkpoint like 5 seconds before, huh? Okay. Points available. Oh, points available, huh? Character attributes. I want spirituality. Oh, add points while sitting by the fire because they want to be like derivative of Elden Ring for no reason. And honestly, I like the bonfire for Dark Souls, but I didn't like it for Elden Ring, and I don't think I like this. I don't like it here either. It's good for the aughts, not so good for 25. We've been playing a lot of other games, a lot of other RPGs that have given us better quality of life since then. And running around looking for a bonfire or something is a little tough. Yeah, I mean, yeah, go to recipe and just make everything that you can make. Cooking is going up in leveling, which is good. And it's an interesting game that has a lot of cool systems that they want out of games, but that other games won't give you. It's 5 p.m. Let's go level up. I don't mind the game. It does have that sort of like I hate the AAA and their problems vibe to it where I am sympathetic to this developer, but I'm not sure the graphics or the combat or any of it lives up to my interest though, kind of. The world's kind of cold and desolate. You can't build a base really. Oh, right, this caster is just like raining spells on us. I better go actually deal with him. That probably could have gone way worse than that. Oh, good. This tree is depleted, and this is the closest tree. I have 500 wood. I'm just going to dump it. I think I've got about 100 gold, or close to 100 gold. Yeah, like about 100 gold. I think I could ask for 50 gold, a stack of, or no, I don't know. Maybe I best just sell the wood a buy order, I guess. I'm gonna sit down and then kill this elemental. I'm glad to be moving forward in Final Fantasy as long as it doesn't like fucking require me to pay attention, honestly. This game is good. It's got a real like go out and fucking fuck around in the world vibe to it that I do like. We could go north to this one, Dead as Dreams, I guess. Let's go like out there. But I don't know if I have enough progression. Oh, I didn't level either, and that's probably a thing. I didn't really like the music in this game. Oh, I'm not sitting down. Yeah, probably because I have frost, huh? Yeah. Yep. I wish you to eat food. I've got an available point, which is good. So we come back over to general and buffs, and we buy to the movement speed while casting spells thing. Oh, cool. So my spell power goes up, though, I guess, by my movement speed multiplier, which is cool. It is 5 p.m., 6 p.m., so I'm just going to go around to the morning. Cool, it's the morning. Interesting. I like the world. It's a very interesting world. It is AA taking a swing at AAA. I do like it. I'm not sure that it's adequate enough, so we'll just give it more time. And I don't know. I'm not really enjoying my time here too much. It seems like kind of an old crappy game that maybe shouldn't be repeated, or like get a sequel. It is weird because it checks so many boxes, but without like a core reason, like building or something like that, it just comes across as this hollow Elden Ring game that I don't technically really need to play because there's nothing there besides some completion of acts or something. I mean, I don't know. The storyline doesn't appeal to me, so the further I descend into MMO knock madness or whatever, the more I like struggle. I don't like this map. I can't seem to figure out where I am all the time. It's like that orange, I guess. It really looks like all the other symbols. So it's like kind of like weirding me out that I'm like not really like being able to do this that well. I guess the orange symbol is where I'm supposed to go all the time, so I just fight my way there. I'll tell you right now, the only reason I like this game is because the vampire spell reminds me of Moira, and that makes me suspect that it might be a good game if I can play it like Moira. Like right here, I don't want to drain my mana. I want to sneak up on him and get a nice double hand hit. Got no damage for some reason because it's double A. Because it's a double A. Because it's a double A game. Oh, well, at least I took no damage though. That's fine. That part of it was fine with me. But it definitely has that Elden Ring feeling. Look, it's so ghetto. Look at her. Look at her hair flop around. See it? You see her hair flop around? That's unacceptable in a game that you charge $60 for. And I don't know, man. I don't think I could ever buy this game. So why should I play this game if I wouldn't even buy it? It's sort of weird. Look at her hair dance around in the wind, I guess it's supposed to be. But it just looks bad to me. Like the rest of the graphics. The graphics are frankly not too good. I think it's a beautiful game when you consider that it's got a day and night cycle because it wants to tick that box. But what's the day and night cycle for? I mean, it's not like there's skeletons and goblins jumping me at night or anything. It's 9 in the morning, isn't it? But why does it feel like it's fucking 4 in the morning? Because I'm in the graveyard? He one-shot me. Jesus Christ. I should have been Moira sucking him. I like the Moira suck beam that this game has. It's good. Save. Fuck you, skeleton. Get out. If the graphics look like 2025, this might be a better game. But it doesn't even have the polish of an Enshrouded, really. Ugh. Now I feel like I'm swarmed with mobs. Oh, I got chopped down. The combat is addictive. But I don't find the game endearing or like a game that I want to learn a lot about or spend a lot of time playing. I feel like I'm already complaining too much, you know? And I should just stop playing the game. Like I did last time. I was like, I can see immediately that this game is rough and that I don't know. Did a wolf aggro me? Can I chop trees with this thing? No. I'm not really sure why they took the time. It's like they wanted to take a swing at, like, they had some money, they wanted to take a swing at making a better game than Skyrim. But I mean, why would I chop the skeleton? Why? There's not really, like, much reason to, you know? Save. Cool. Am I supposed to go somewhere or do something? Yeah, I am. So there's some ancient crypt that they want me to go into, like, right here, I guess. It's alright, but it's not, like, good. I don't really see why I would ever play this game over, like, an Elden Ring, for instance. If I'm going to spend my time playing a game like this, I would just play Elden Ring. And I would have a serious issue making a game like this. Because I would be like, what do I bring that's better than an Elden Ring? Or like even a Dragon's Dogma 1. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I see it.
Who goes there? You should be. Not that I'm.
I don't care about this. Here you go. Yeah. I don't care, frankly.
Oh. You become past the foot.
Cool. Nice. Yep. Use crypt key. That loadout is 2, and it's like suck beam and torch. This loadout is axe. That loadout is both suck beams. This loadout is fire. No, it's an empty hand and a fire thing. So I could do double fire, I guess. I don't really know. I don't really like the fire spell. I'll just go suck beam. Always, because I think it's actually a skill and you've got to use it, so... Where'd he go? The loot feels meaningless, like it could never be anything but gear. I really hurt him with the big hit, though. I do like the combat. The combat's the saving grace. It is entertaining, I must say. So okay, but I mean the graphics are so bad. Maybe it's because I turned them down. Let's go turn the graphics all the way up and just see if that's the saving grace of this game. Maybe if it makes it seem suddenly better if the graphics are up. I have DLSS on right now. STP, like Stone Temple Pilots. DLSS quality FX ultra. 100% quality and just run it across the board because this game isn't very intense. Yeah, and just see maybe if the graphics were like setting the graphics low made it like not that appealing to me. I guess it's a little better. All that loot, does it matter? Do I have to care about it? I don't think I can. Charge a soul stone, I don't care. Oh, that's not too good. Oh, ouch. You fucking dick. I killed him. No, I didn't. Oh, get out of it. Get out of it. Oh. Ouch, you fucking... Oh. Oh, where did he come from? Oh my god. I like the combat, but it's sort of like, why? Why do the combat? The game's not compelling enough. I don't know. She just won't swing. Won't do it. Reload. Why would you swing? You're standing there like, I'm just too tired. I like fighting that zombie though. I like the combat enough to play the game. Please run, please run. God damn it, you're annoying. The combat's almost good enough to, like, ignore all the other problems. And that's a statement. It's a statement about, like, you know, how bad AAA combat actually is. It's weird. He was like, I'll give him a Moira gauntlet, a shitty fireball that isn't worth doing, like, you know, a sword, an axe, and a torch or whatever, and just let them Elden Ring through my world, but I'll make the combat way better, and I won't fuck around with their terrible stamina meters or their bad, like, you know, their bad mana bars that don't come back without chugging potions and shit like this. Yep. He doesn't see me yet. I'm going to save right here. The combat also feels really good. I one-shot him, which was awesome. I gotta say, the stealth feels good because it does feel rewarding to get him off the board before he causes a problem. The combat feels good, and, like, also this feels really crazy. Like, the two skeletons in there, they actually feel really dangerous. Is he gonna see me? No. There was something that came out of the wall. I don't know what it was. Don't ask me. I don't know. Something came out of the wall as I went to go shank him. God damn it. And I actually really like that. Oh, satisfying stealth, actually, I gotta say. The combat and the stealth seems good. Now, what came out of the wall here? Was it this thing? Something came out of the wall as I attacked him. It was weird. What was it? That thing. The fuck is it? Oh, God, what is that? Rusty spear. Wait, it's a spear? Ooh, rusty spear. Ooh, rusty spear. Is it good? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's way better than the two-hander I've been using. Can I put a torch in the other hand? Yes, I can. And suddenly I'm way happier with this game. I like this spear. Oh, I like that two-hand stab. Yeah, it's good. Alright, how are we doing here? Oh, I have taxed this tree. We have 600 wood. It goes to the stacks. I want to get a full pig load. And then sell it all for like 500 gold. And then, and I can do that. I can pull wood out of my, you know, surroundings because people want to pay for their buildings. Think I haven't hit this one. Oops. Does it matter? I think I better pause. Okay, I'm gonna get my third beer. I'll be right back and go piss. Oh, this tree is depleted. I want to move to something a little bit more better. Just take me to another tree further away. Ah, good. The pig. Pig 74. Not bad. Right on, BRB. Okay, gotta go pee. I was hoping it was Shadow. I like that you can save it like Half-Life, because it implies that you can just kind of go through it. You know, you can just go and kind of chain your way through it. There's like mobs all around and stuff. I'm not sure I care about the items in this game. I don't think... Well, now I know. I think I should always open with mana and drain mana first, because it's ranged, for one thing. So before something is even close to me, I just kill it. The range on it is terrible. Oh, what was that? Where? Resistant? Go, get the stamp to get out of here. Go. Well, I don't know. X and potion, I think? Yeah, just so I don't die. Whatever I stumbled into from behind. That guy was resistance. I like the game. It looks better when the graphics are turned up. Especially in the dungeon. This weapon does not really affect him very badly. Now, that guy's resistant to it. So it appears that, I don't know if this is actually true pause or not, so we'll find out. But it appears that the two-handed battle axe is actually better at this, like, stuff. Damn near one-shot me, that son of a bitch. Oh, that's not too good. Oh. I don't know what it is. Something about rust. But I just don't get the fear anymore. Do you guys like, maybe you guys have been Rust players before, you understand? I just don't really get the fear anymore. See how bad my odds are right now? It doesn't matter to me, really. I don't get the fear. It's more like, do I have the power to defeat them? I missed him, that son of a fucking bitch. Hurry up, you. Go before I die. Run. Fucking asshole. I don't know about that guy. Game saved. Oh, this thing was animating the sculpture? Oh, well, I like this game a lot more now. I was like, what the hell is this? Okay, so you don't fight the sculpture. You fight the fucking corpse eater because it animates the sculpture. Okay, I didn't know. Cool, well, that's cool. I like the whole, Tainted Grail thing where everything's all fucked up. And yeah, I always wondered what Elden Ring was. It is Tainted Grail stuff, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, I do want to use the food. Oh, it auto foods. It does. It like auto fills all the food in your inventory. So save. It feels good. It feels extraction. I do favor the game because the combat is really drawing me in, and that's very rare for me. Oh, he saw me. Oh, you fucking dick. Get out of it. I like that the AI isn't trying to play like From Software stuff. It really does want to kill you, and it comes in and. So where's your animator? It's not him that's the problem, I don't think. That's not a problem. It's whoever his animator is, the corpse eater. Where's the corpse eater? There he is. Flame gobbler. Oh, you dirty son of a bitch. I don't know. That guy, that was it though. The flame guy was making this sculpture move, I think. Fucking weird. Save disabled in combat. I'm in combat. Oh yeah. Fuck you, Skelly. I can't believe you missed. How did you miss? He's standing on you because your hitboxes suck. Oh, you're so annoying. Oh, this tree is depleted. We will go dump the wood. In this way, I will reach 500 gold, and I will open up the next mastery chart or whatever. I believe that chopping trees should give you mastery level. I suppose it sort of does in a way. I want to up my loot rate. I'm gonna chop wood like all evening until I have to go to dinner. Boundary Bay oatmeal stout. It's so good. Oatmeal stout is so good. Save. Saving disabled in combat. Save. Okay, well, I lived. I don't know what to do. Monster blood and hot goo. I'm in combat with this guy. Oh. I like the sax. Game saved. Nice. Burned skin. Wolfsbane. Sage.
Careful there. Try not to... Stop. That is a gross oversimplification. Posthumously. Don't enjoy. Think about it this... I know, Pete. I'm not dead. It starts... Oh, please. Is that the only thing? My ambition isn't to command the dead, but death itself. The problem is, I keep missing something. Raising the dead is easy, but I don't want... And you don't know... That's absurd. Very well.
Okay, this tree's depleted. This one's not depleted, but it's low.
Careful there.
Stop. Hope, my the problem. And that's up. Very.
He killed one of them. God damn it, I missed. Wait, he reanimated another one, that son of a bitch. I don't know. I don't think I have the... I don't think I can do this on hard. Maybe. No, this tree is out, I guess. I don't really know. Oh, increases lifesteal by 10% for 20 seconds, huh?
Careful there.
Stop. That post you. I'm not. It starts to get. I know. You foes don't enjoy. Think about. Hope with my the problem. Me. I haven't. I would. The servant. He just might be good. Oh, that's fine.
There it is.
Any revelations?
That was a better conclusion.
Any revelations?
Okay, so we're done with this place, I guess. Well, okay, we got this part over with. Oh, my axe broke. I don't know how to get out of this place anymore. I went to him. That's the end. We did this dungeon, I think, and I should get credit or some kind of gain for doing it. I guess I have a torch and I could use it. Oh, never mind.
Oh. Ooh. Does he now? Well, it can't be. I'm glad to have been. I just hope it.
Oh, I got a level though. That's of assistance. Yeah. Look at all this worthless loot that I don't care about. You couldn't care me. You couldn't make me care. So attribute. We're gonna go into spirituality. Can you? Oh, you won't let me. No, you won't let me. One available point, but you won't let me. Why? Oh no, you have to go to the fire. I'm sorry. Okay, so, but I think I can get movement speed less now. Yeah, but I think I have to go to like a bonfire to do it. That's okay. Save. I like that it has a save. That's better than Elden Ring. So then you can just leave instantly. You're like, oh, I gotta go, bye. And, you know, and then you want to log off the game. You can. You don't have to go back to a fucking bonfire. The bonfire is very strict in a way. It's like you have to return to this point in the world. This game is like, just quit when you want to quit. And I like that. Maybe the game has surprised me. They said the third act is kind of weak, and I'm sure this act is pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, don't mind it. The game so far, the combat's been engaging enough where I don't mind. Yeah, like cache all this. I'm in ultra graphics and it is laggy out here in the smoke. I think it's the fog. The fog doesn't need to be this good. Yeah, I don't need the fog to be super amazing at all. Game's good, but I wish it kind of would, yep, save. I wish it would, kind of recache again. I'm in Ultra, DLSS, TAA, high, maps. Am I dying? No. Vegetation, ultra, high, fog, SSAO, chromatic, shadows, contact shadows, subsurface scattering, subsurface scattering quality. Nope, my cushion is a bit awry. I'm gonna fix it. No wonder. There we go. That's better. I don't think I need the shadows in this game, honestly. I'd rather just have the shadows can be just be off, frankly. Yeah, the rest of it is like, yeah, I think I probably would like it high. Yep, all of it. Yes, I do. Lots of enemies suddenly. Oh god, where the fuck am I? Where do I go? Oh yeah. You want me, can I fast travel? Fuel your bonfire to use fast travel. What, fuel my bonfire? What bonfire? There's no bonfire. Oh, this place looks fucking terrible. There's skeletons all around. Ah, move, move. Not too good. Nice. Grats. She's got that wild hair. I dub her wild hair. Look at that wild hair. What was that? Ooh, I hurt him real bad. I hurt him real bad. Get out of it. Get out of it. Oh. Oh. Well, I learned. I did a pretty good battle with them there for a little while. I got the first one a pretty good chunk. Killed him. Let's try this again. Where was he? Oh god, did he see me? I don't think he did. Turn around, fucker. Turn around. I hit him. Oh. I'm also at a stam. There's some weird yellow ring that goes out to your edge of vision. It's like telling you where the edge of your vision is. It's kind of trippy, like totally. I don't know. What? Oh god, it's an archer. Run, get cover. Oh, he shot me too. That fucker. I don't know, can they follow? Yeah, they probably can, but I need to run, probably. Where am I? Son of a bitch. Beware of the weirdness. Oh, yeah, the fog. Okay, the fog in the game. Okay. Oh, something's shanking me. Ah. Kill my pretty kill. What do I do? I guess I'm detected. Who detected me? Everything detected me. Nope. Wow. It's not a Skyrim game. It's not a Skyrim game in any way. It's an Elden Ring game. Are you guys dumb? You kept saying it's a Skyrim type game, and it's not a Skyrim type game in any way or form. Not even close. It's way more like Elden Ring. Why didn't you say Elden Ring? You're dumb. This isn't a Skyrim game. I guess on this difficulty, it's probably like Elden Ring, yeah. Oh god. I don't know. Yeah. I killed him. Out. I like the combat and it's fucking hard. I should maybe turn the difficulty down because these guys are like definitely chunky. These things are gonna kill me. I just wanted to see. Just, you know, throw my little castaway little things around to see what's happening. Just wanted to see, just wanted to see. I'm supposed to leave. I don't know. Should I go north? I will go north, yeah. I'm just gonna go north. Ooh, I gotta save. They're off me. Alright, so now what? I guess I'll go north. This is like a crossroads right here. Yeah, north. Oh, I'm not shopping. Oops. prefer deer. I don't want to hunt. Oh, but I don't want to. They want me to shoot bows. I don't know what this is. Stagfather's Trial. Wolves. Okay. Maybe we should go back south again now. A little bit, like, this area is a little bit less nasty than this. We're like in the enshrouded fog, I guess. And the things here are fucking nasty. So yeah, we'll go back south again. I feel your bonfire, but I mean, I don't have a bonfire. Yeah, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to run back into where we went. The game's good, but it's got obvious problems. You can see it. I like the combat, though. I don't mind it. It's not really amazing, but it's good. Oh, yeah. Oh, so we went way north, but now we're going back south. Save. Nope. Combat. Save. Nope. Combat. I think there's a bonfire here, or I don't know. Let's go see. What's in here? Oh, yeah, this place, yeah. Here we go. Points available. Set a bonfire. Yay. Spirituality. Yeah. I'll probably go spirituality. Yeah. Confirm. Confirm spirituality, and then skill trees. We go back to spirituality and we buy the last one, which is like, don't slow me down when I'm casting the Moira spell. Confirm. Better. Good. So that time we went north all the way up and completed something up here called Dead as Dreams, I think. Oh, I can return to Yorath. Oh, no, I need to return to Yorath. So, which is fine. I remember where that is. That's okay. Orb of Recoil. Massive pushing forces applied to targets within a 5-meter radius. Nice. The game's got a lot of cool stuff in it. The spear was good. Save. This tree is half depleted. I'm going to move around. Oh yeah, I can rest, huh? Is there a sleeping bag here? Maybe not, huh? Oh, what the fuck? I like this game. I think I'm done with it for currently right now. But yeah, it's a good game.
His own way. Being that these were largely edited and recorded through his phone, there was only so much he could do, though he did experiment. As 2017 was closing, Brad used his time reviewing and actively listening to music to make videos on the worst songs or best albums of 2017. It was not until February of 2018 that Brad's channel really started to get traction. It begins with a confrontation of sorts, when creator Beyond ARTV gave the 21 Pilots album, Blurryface, a rating of 4.5
What?
out of 5. Bradley, in ARTV's comment section, was not too pleased with the score, which is when ARTV responded to Brad, challenging his own views. Quote, "Why the fuck are you here then? Lol, so did Spectrum Pulse. Why are you here to bash the opinions of other people's taste in music, almighty, all-knowing Brad?" Unquote. ARTV later uploaded a video titled 6 Reasons Why People Hate 21 Pilots. Brad on Twitter then connected the dots and believed his comment was responsible for that video and felt that he was largely targeted as a 21 Pilots hater. This, in turn, inspired Brad's own video that would be responsible for providing much-needed traction to grow his channel.
Why am I doing this? Well, if you're unaware with my Twitter, I've gotten into a little bit of heat with Mr. ARTV over here, John from ARTV.
Brad restates his belief that he was responsible for ARTV's video, then provides the context that he never listened to that 21 Pilots album, as he was only jumping on the hate bandwagon, which ties into the reason he is making this video.
The hate bandwagon?
But in this video, he makes a lot of really good points. He asks the viewer to listen to the music without thinking about the fan base, without thinking about all the merch, without thinking about the emo, without thinking about the outfits, and just listen to the music. And that's what I want to do. And I'm not doing this video to make fun of him. No, this is a video of me actually trying.
The majority of this 29-minute video is Brad reacting to the album, giving his personal breakdown of each song afterwards. This is how the video ends.
So I'm going to give this my score. I'm feeling a 4.5. Out of 10, not out of 5. Get the fuck out of here. 9 out of 10. You can't do that bullshit. Get this fucking bullshit out of my face, okay? I'm tired.
While Brad's video did get a fair amount of dislikes, the top comments, rather than analyzing or critiquing Brad's own analysis, focus on his reaction. They're clued into the unserious nature of this video and pay more mind into someone experiencing the music they love or hate for the first time. This was Brad's strength, and this is what would grow his...
I don't think I like this video, and I'm going to get off it.
This is the ultimate travel companion, and I'm about to go on my very first series of flights with just the Steam Deck. I'm very excited for this. I got 4 flights coming up, 2 weeks of travel and vacation, and I'm only going to be bringing this bad boy, which means I finally get to tackle some of the backlog games that I've been saving specifically for long travel, which I'll get to here in a minute. But I first want to just talk about how amazing the Steam Deck is. If you don't have one, and for whatever reason, if it is in your budget, then amazing. I cannot tell you how amazing this console has been, even just for at-home play. This thing it's been so fun. For any game that I can genuinely run on the Steam Deck, I do. I have a great PC setup behind me, but I find myself wanting to be cozy with a blanket on a Saturday morning, laying in bed with the Steam Deck, way more than I do want to be sitting here at my office. Despite it being a really cozy environment, I just find that having it in a portable form factor has been so much fun. So first of all, let's just take a minute and appreciate what the Steam Deck can actually do. I've got, and this might be different for each of you, but I've got a very long library here on Steam, and that's part of the buying addiction and being a gamer. But that means I also get to have a ton of games that are now in a portable form factor that I genuinely, before having a Steam Deck, couldn't really enjoy in that form factor. So I've been loving it. I've been an owner of a Steam Deck now for about 3 months, so I'm, sort of late to the general release. I have the OLED model. It's been great. I honestly can't praise it enough. There's so many great features to actually have baked into this console, and very few games that I've personally played from my library have been problematic, and can usually be mitigated through tweaking different settings. Granted, I'm not running like super high-end games, and again, I think if I were, I would probably just come into my office and play those kinds of games. But just at a very high level, I've got about 50 games installed on my Steam Deck right now, and all of them are like they run great. They run fantastic. Just as a quick, just rundown of what I got games like Axiom Verge, Blasphemous. I've got Brotato, Core Keeper, Coromon, Crosscode, Cult of the Lamb, Cuphead, Darkest Dungeon, Dave the Diver, Divinity Original Sin 2, which is just a freaking amazing game. Don't Starve, Skyrim, Into the Gungeon, Everhood, Final Fantasy X, love that game. Firewatch, Gadonia, Graveyard Keeper, Grim Dawn. It just goes on. I got tons of games.
You don't have time.
Little Nightmares 2, which has been really fun to play. I'm just now playing for the first time. So many games I have on my Steam Deck, and it's just been awesome. It's been awesome. Now, again, your library might be different than mine, and depending on how many games you currently own.
I don't think I need to watch this. I just wanted to see what it looked like. That's all.
Hello, guys and gals, me Mutahar, and ooh, reject that digital ID, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is one of those things that I kind of saw the other day. Do not introduce digital ID cards. This thing has sort of started up. It needed a goal of 100,000. 1.2 million British people said that they don't want to see digital IDs coming into the country. That number just keeps growing. So I wanted to kind of touch this situation a little bit. The reason why we're talking about this is I've covered a lot of stuff recently on internet censorship, government surveillance, user privacy, a lot of things that I hold near and dear and important to me, right? And I think we live in a world that is slowly turning into, well, I mean, let's be real, not slowly, pretty aggressively turning into a surveillance state. But before we go into this video, I do not want to be one spreading misinformation or fear-mongering you, okay? I want to just lay out the facts and lay out the reality of the situation. So
I like the idea of a digital ID. And it's weird because I don't understand that as a streamer. Like, he must have so many people targeting him. And I guarantee it, he has dark stories of people targeting him and stuff. A digital ID would stop that. Because if they were like suddenly, like, if they were stalking somebody on the internet over and over and over again every day, as suddenly they were just denied access or whatever to their emails or whatever because of their real ID, they use their real ID to be bad actors online and stuff. I do want this. I want the public to be defended from the public. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry, I had to pee. Back. Are you kidding me? Oops. Don't kid me. Hey, kitty. Thought I heard my cat. Hey, I did hear you. I was like, I thought I heard my cat. Hey. How you doing? You doing okay? I don't know if you should eat that, kitty. Hi, kitty. Yes, warm in here. Are you a cold kitty? I've been out there a while. Oh, you are. You're a cold kitty. Well, let's warm you up. Yeah, let's warm you up. Hi, kitty. Brown. Yeah. Brown. You want some love? We can give you some love. You just tell me.
I'm not going to make it too terribly long. I'm just going to give you the upfront facts here. So, according to the United Kingdom, in order to work now, in order to go into the future, digital ID is mandatory. And the government says that it's to combat illegal working while making it easier to a vast majority of the people to use the vital government services that they have. Now, I want to start off by saying IDs are pretty much commonplace everywhere, okay? Obviously, in Canada, if you want to have a valid ID, something like a driver's license makes sense. Obviously, it contains my name, my address, date of birth, so on and so forth. And of course, obviously, there are things that don't serve as valid ID in Canada. For things like health cards, for instance, they don't. So driver's licenses and passports are these IDs that you basically show around the entire world. Okay, so for instance, a cop pulls me over, I show them my identification. But what if you're like, Muda, what if I don't want to carry around my goddamn wallet? Okay, the only reason I carry around my wallet is because I need my driver's license when I drive. If I get pulled over, I need to show an ID to the cop. Otherwise, I could be in some pretty serious trouble. So, of course, obviously, this is not new. For instance, in the United States, there is also digital ID that is available. For instance, if you want to fly domestically, you can go to the Google Wallet and store ID information for your, participating state, so you don't have to whip out the driver's license when you go to the TSA. For instance, if you're in the state of California, you can use their wallet application, the Apple Wallet, the Google Wallet, to store, yes, your identification, your ID card. So when a chippy pulls you over, instead of showing them your physical license, you can give them a digital license. Actually, before I spread a little misinformation, just to reiterate, this will not replace a driver's license physical yet. Law enforcement, state government agencies, and businesses aren't yet accepting the MDL. So this technology is already here and it works in other countries.
Yeah, they've been doing it since COVID.
Deal, and why is it such a massive issue in the United Kingdom? Well, they're kind of billing it as a way for a measure to make it tough to work in their country illegally.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know much about the United Kingdom.
And be a criminal on the internet, too.
It's a huge hot button issue in the entire world. It's an issue in Canada, it's an issue obviously in the United States, and it's an issue clearly in the UK. And I've seen, all the images of like the boats that are flooding into the country and the metrics that they have that illegals are coming into their country to work and are taking jobs from, again, residents, right? Like actual like citizens in their country, which is a problem. But to give you an idea, this digital ID system doesn't necessarily even solve it. So there are already requirements and systems in place in the United Kingdom to check if a job applicant is right to, can work. And a lot of this works with them validating through their systems on.
Sorry, I'm just going to pause this for a minute while I cuddle with my kitty. Hi. You're fine, kitty. Come here. Come on. Get it off the table. Yeah, you. Hi. Oh, you lovely kitty. Yeah. Well, hello. I love you. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been searching like a hawk, and everything that I do. Kitty, don't bump my camera. Sorry, I'm putting my camera back. Oh, I jostled my camera the wrong way. Ah. Kitty. Hey, it's my Facebook picture.
Autopilot engaged. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
Online, whether users have valid documentation, and I think the documentation is like a work visa, I think an NI number or something of that nature, which is equivalent to like a SIN number in Canada or an SSN number in the United States. It's one of the it's literally the ID fucking code you get, you know, when you have any legal status in a country. Now there are penalties, obviously, if you are an employer that is illegally hiring people that aren't, you know, they don't have a right to work in your country. You could face some pretty huge breaches.
So much to cover, so much going on in the world. Obviously, we got the FBI motives and FBI narratives that were undermined last night by Ken Klippenstein's fantastic reporting on the background of the shooter, the anti-ICE shooter, right? First and foremost, remember when Russia tried to stage a photo of a Ukrainian assassin's hideout and instead of SIM cards, they posted copies of The Sims? Yeah, this is just like, this is so bad that it made the libs go, I don't really believe this. Like, it even made the libs go, seems weird, right? And I don't know if it's because they're just incompetent. Like, I mean, what is this? Like, what? I don't know. It just seems so crazy. It seems like if they said ICE is not poggers, that would make more sense, dude, than anti-ICE on the bullet, you know? FBI Dallas and FBI headquarters have been working 24/7 to seize devices, exploit data, and process writings obtained on location in the subject's person, residence, bedroom. This FBI
is committed to providing timely updates as promised. The perp downloaded a document titled Dallas County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management containing a list of DHS facilities. He conducted multiple searches of ballistics and the Charlie Kirk shot video between 9:23 and 9:24. Between 8:19 and 8:24, he searched apps that tracked the presence of ICE agents. One of the handwritten notes recovered read, "Hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror to think. Is there a sniper with AP rounds on that roof?" Further accumulated evidence to this point indicated high degree of pre-attack planning. The FBI will provide further updates when able. So yeah, they're trying to tie this to like the ICE tracker apps, you know, like all of the grassroots mobilization against like ICE presence. Like they're gonna make that illegal too, I think. And I suspect they'll also simultaneously be like, yeah, not only do we have to make sure that these like grassroots ICE tracker apps are totally illegal because this person used it clearly, that all leftist organizing is illegal as well. Every neo-lib tweeter below doesn't buy it. Yeah, no, I do like that the liberals, even liberals who normally would be totally reliant on government, like official organs of the government saying anything really, have looked at this and been like, nah, this doesn't make a lot of sense. But there's obviously a little bit more information that is now readily available to us. Shouts out to Ken Leakenstein, as always, for doing fantastic reporting. He went and he got anonymously interviewed some of the friends, lifelong friends really, of the shooter, and he revealed that the ways in which the FBI has concocted this like left-wing anti-fascist terrorism narrative is not great. Joseph K. Young says, ascribing motive to politically violent people is hard when they don't leave a manifesto. We should all pause and do some research and or read things like this, where someone tries to figure out the motive by actually talking to people. Exclusive, the ICE shooter's politics. Joshua John's friends speak. The deadly sniper attack on a Dallas ICE facility this morning seems straightforward, with anti-ICE engraved on the unspent shell casing
anti-ICE
for the FBI. But after interviewing several of the alleged shooter's former friends, the picture isn't so clear.
Anti-ICE.
Within minutes of the shooting, FBI Director Cash Patel posted on X, while the investigation is ongoing, an initial review of the evidence shows an ideological motive behind this attack. See photo below. Now, what's crazy about it is, like, I need you guys to understand something.
Liberals don't
FBI
carve bullets.
should not be doing this for two different reasons. One, in this circumstance, the investigation is irrelevant, really, because like the shooter died, right? He killed himself. But in situations where there's an ongoing court case, you're not supposed to taint the evidence by immediately coming out in public and creating a narrative framing around the situation. That's not something you can do. That's not something you should be doing in general, okay? But the other societal impact of the FBI doing this like very clearly biased immediate evidence farming is making people less reliant on the FBI as a reasonable actor. This is genuinely a problem if you believe that we have to be a nation of rules and laws, and you have to have like at least some commitment to these institutions that are going to be infallible to a certain degree. They're going to abide by an incredibly high standard when they're doing these sorts of investigations. Like, you can't be doing shit like this. I hate to sound like a liberal, but this is a ridiculous thing to do. You can't be running around and being like, this is a bad guy, and I found out exactly what their biases are, and I'll have you know, might come as a surprise, but the shooter was exactly the opposite of my worldview, and was very clearly acting out in a way that I want to, you know, in all of the groups that I want to silence and suppress. You can't do that. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. Like, can you imagine after like a million different investigations that have been conducted to like right-wing political violence, like Joe Biden coming out and being like, guys, listen, I don't normally do this. I'm not even going to look at the manifesto. I'm just going to come out and be like, that's a right-wing guy. That's a right-wing guy. Bet you he's a Ben Shapiro fan. We got to start taking care of these Ben Shapiro style content creators. Like, that would be insane. And then having the FBI reveal this information immediately without any sort of serious investigation being conducted into the matter. So it's even worse when there is, it's even worse in the Tyler Robinson case because the shooter is not dead. So there is not only an investigation that will be conducted, but also a court case that will happen in the aftermath of this, right? You can't do this with Luigi Mangione in the way that the law enforcement agencies and people in positions of power have done. This actually taints the jury pool. This is like, you're biasing you're creating an environment, a narrative bias before due process takes place. It's grounds for a mistrial. Like, what the fuck are we doing? This is so ridiculous. Obviously, it's not going to happen, right? Given the severity of the crime, it's never going to happen. But like under normal circumstances, that is unironically what would take place. Being in this administration just feels like a race to the bottom. Everyone is trying to get out their Twitter posts as fast as possible for clout. Literally an administration of influence. I know you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that, little baby. If you want the FBI to be like a serious institution that people still respect, you can't be doing that. Get Kash Patel out of there, man. What the hell? President Trump responded to the shooting by blaming the radical left, vowing to sign another executive order to dismantle what he called domestic terrorism networks. This comes at the heels of another executive order he signed this week, designating Antifa a domestic terrorist organization, as I previously reported. I have been briefed on the deadly shooting. We already read this yesterday, but he said, I've been briefed on the deadly shooting. It's Antifa. You can't compare ICE agents to Nazis. That's completely unacceptable. All this stuff, right? Vice President J.D. Vance, meanwhile, says, we know that this person was politically motivated, pointing both to the inscriptions and some evidence we have that's not yet public. On the off chance the shooting wasn't what it looked like, I reached out to people who knew the gunman, 29-year-old Joshua John. 3 who knew him since at least middle school and agreed to speak to me on the condition that I not name them, corroborating their friendship with photos and other records. Their accounts paint the picture of someone with a vaguely libertarian bent who despised both major parties and politicians generally, including Trump, but who didn't engage with politics beyond that. He preferred edgy humor, video games, and the message board 4chan, all of which he became increasingly steeped in as he withdrew from social life, as well as their own friendships several years ago, they said. None of his former friends believed the anti-ICE inscription could possibly be sincere, feeling such a serious political statement was anathema to who John was. His humor was deeply ironic, often offensive, and aggressive to the point of alienation. Classic leftist site 4chan, before you say classic leftist site 4chan, there are leftists who are on 4chan as well, okay? That's true. It's not just right-wingers, even though it's most famous for right-wingers, and the likelihood that you're a right-winger, if you're on poll, especially, you're most likely a right-winger, but that doesn't mean that there aren't leftists on 4chan, okay? Just remember that. He was most certainly an edgelord, an irony guy, one friend said. Edgelord is online speak for someone who doesn't like, who likes to espouse edgy nihilistic views. Asked about the inscription on the bullet, the friend said, Josh was an edgelord who wanted someone to get blamed. I think he tried his best to write something goofy to rile people up. Another friend showed me a Facebook post describing how John had flooded his friend's comment section with rape jokes. Playful shock humor, the friend said. Insane. Hey man, that's just playful shock humor. John's profile on the gaming platform Steam showed the vast amounts of time he spent playing video games, particularly shooters, more than 6,000 hours on Rust, which, oof, red flag. That's, no disrespect to Rust, but bit of a red flag there, 3,000 on Team Fortress 2, 1,000 on Left 4 Dead 2. He even found time to play 3.5 hours in the past 2 weeks, the account shows. Among the dozen or so usernames he used, one was reading #impeachment. When I asked if this wasn't a clear reference to anti-Trump politics, his friends recoiled at the idea that he would express opposition to Trump so sincerely and straightforwardly. Instead, they saw it as a part of his broader ironic persona, poking fun at the anti-Trump resistance types. Hanky Bob, clan tag. Users also played as Sam I Am. That said, one friend recalled that when Trump first came to power, Jan was not a fan, though he had contempt for mainstream politicians in general. His friends say he had more of a libertarian bent, with one recalling an interest in the libertarian figure Ron Paul. You know what's really funny about the ideological motives that people try to ascribe to, instances of political violence, like people who have engaged in acts of political violence, is that we have such a silly view of the average American, which I always point to when talking about the median voter. Identifying the politics of a median voter is a virtually impossible.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just so silly because most people do not subscribe to straight
Your average
ticket blue Dem or straight
No.
ticket right-wing Republican voting. There is more consolidation ideologically within the right as opposed to the liberal side of things, for sure. But having said that, even then, it is virtually impossible to understand what the average American, especially the average American that doesn't vote, even though he is eligible to vote, is genuinely impossible. It is incoherent. There are many people in here that if someone from the outside was looking at your social media profiles, they would be like, what the does this guy believe? I don't understand it. I can't associate it with any sort of like mainline established political ideology. Still, the friend who recounted Jan's dislike of Trump insisted that there was at least a kernel of seriousness to the username. If it was ironic, it's half irony, where you're half kidding, half serious, just in case, he said. He was never really into politics, especially not politicians, said another friend who had known Jan since age 8. He was into politics only in the 4chan sense, contrarian, provocative, boundary pushing for laughs, not conviction. 4chan, the anonymous message board where provocation and irony are the coin of the realm, was apparently one of Jan's favorite haunts. His abrasive humor is where his friends describe his opinions on him diverged the most, with some describing it as amusing, but others as grating, especially as his online persona bled into real life. I mostly stopped talking to him when he took his 4chan irony stuff into daily interactions, one friend told me. He was becoming unbearable. Once he dropped out of college, he had no obligation to be social, and none of us reached out due to his edgelord behavior. Oh my lord. This is, you know what's really funny? A lot of mainstream voices, especially on the right, constantly are now trying to point the finger of blame at like edgy nihilism and like political violence in my direction. And so much of what I try to do is to snap
I'm the
people
peaceful
out of this.
one.
Like literally,
Yeah.
if people come in here and watch me for half a day, they will realize that a big chunk of what I am combating is exactly this: the social isolation that comes from finding yourself steeped within like incel, extremely online, irony poisoned, nihilistic circles that basically push your real life social interactions into the background as your online persona under the guise of anonymity becomes more and more your real world persona as well, and it causes people around you to go, ew, gross, get the fuck away from me. This is a big part of the reason why I always say touch grass. This is a big part of the reason why I always say be normal. I would have to say you're doing a terrible job. Yeah, that's unironically the most untrue thing you could say, because there are a ton of people in here that have found not only a sense of community online, but also have found themselves doing more productive in the real world as a direct consequence of me urging them to stop and shake themselves out of this like weird, deep, dark, nihilistic internet-based online circles that they find themselves in, whether it be going out and working out, whether it be urging them to join it, their local organizations and things of that nature. I wasn't able to find anyone who, with insight into Jan's more recent views, something that his friend said was unsurprising given his withdrawal from social life over the past few years. If you're having trouble finding people besides immediate family who knew him, that's part of the story, one friend said. Every mutual friend drifted away over that kind of edgelord behavior. A fledgling version of Jan's humor appears in the following YouTube video since removed from when he was a high schooler, a tongue-in-cheek parody of tech advice videos. Hello there, Facebook user. Are you tired of scrolling through your Facebook feed mindlessly? Well, there's a solution. You can unlike all your crappy pages. The following audio recording of Jan bombing at stand-up comedy was shared with me. It drew a comparison by one friend to the 2019 Joker film starring Joaquin Phoenix as an off-putting loner who also tried and failed at comedy. The film culminates in a scene in which the Joker gets his revenge on the entertainment world by gunning down the host of a popular late-night TV show. The audio from his attempted stand-up routine where he bombs now resonates uncannily with Joker, the friend said. Ironically, for Trump and the major political parties has bestowed them with one of the most intensely partisan news cycles in recent memory. In this sense, the joke is on him. And all of us too. This still doesn't mean that the shooter has no profiles in or has no ideological profile that could be left slanted in any capacity, in any way, shape, or form, for the record. But this paired up with the fact that the FBI investigation that has yielded no results, both in the case of Tyler Robinson and also in the case of this shooter as well, to any sort of like left adjacent groups, like left adjacent associations, makes it much harder for the government to develop a profile that would justify significant incursions on free speech. Do you want me to actually look at the failed bomb stand-up routine that was audio? I guess it could like show us a little bit more of the background, but it's from 2019.
Approaching Stargate.
All right, so I'm gonna start out with talking about something pretty serious. My buddy was talking to me the other day about reality TV, and he didn't like it too much. He said reality TV should never be played on TV, and I was all taken aback, like, whoa, dude, come on. I have some extremely bad insecurity issues about myself. They constantly eat me up alive. And reality TV is a remedy for that. That's a perfect remedy. And it applies
I'll
to
be
me as
honest,
So,
right off the jump, just hearing him speak, this is more consistent with like loner, antisocial personality disordered, like socially malignant shooters that we have seen in the past, as opposed to someone like Tyler Robinson, who very clearly still had friends at the point of the alleged assassination of Charlie Kirk that he allegedly participated in. You see what I mean? This reminds me more of like a Thomas Crook style individual where their politics are indecipherable and it just like kind of doesn't make sense. As far as like Luigi Mangione or Tyler Robinson goes, their background does not correspond to like the average profile of like a school shooter or a mass shooter, a person engaging in like a horrific act of violence. This seems to be more evidence that the political shooting is supplanting the school shooting as a path to notoriety for suicidal and nihilistic, socially maladjusted individuals. Yes, this is my argument as well. This is what I am seeing as well, especially because these things have a tendency to create copycats. In the past, and I said this yesterday, in the past, when people wanted to make a name for themselves, when someone was like a socially maladjusted, isolated, alienated, sometimes mentally ill person, right? And they had suicidal ideation, instead of doing suicide by cop, they would go and engage in a mass shooting in an area, in an environment that they've designed for themselves that have tremendous control over their lives. If you're young, it's the school, right? The school is restrictive. If you are older, it's your workplace, right? It's your resentment. It's the resentment that you experience that you associate with a hierarchy that holds you back. But I think a lot of these people have now realized that given how much school shootings have become commonplace, it doesn't actually end up getting you the broad recognition and the constant back and forth. Like, what's the reason why he did this? What's the reason why he actually, let's try to identify the motives. Let's like dig into the background of the shooter. Because like the evidence itself is built in. I mean, look at the Annunciation Church shooter, right? Right-wing profile, insane, highlighted a bunch of white nationalist mass shooters. That was a story that was around for like 2.5 days. And then people made their partisan motives, people made their partisan framework very clear in that process. And then they just moved on. So you don't get the same level of elevated profile from stuff like that. So then you see, I think, people engaging in acts of political violence potentially, because they think this will allow people to, this will give them more notoriety. If I were to dive into the mindset of a person like this, I suspect that this is for them a way to chase fame, a way to have a semblance of control over their lives when they feel like they've completely lost all power. They have no way of developing autonomy. They feel alienated.
It's
they feel
Sage.
isolated.
Yeah.
They don't have any friends. They don't have any purpose in life.
I've got so many
and
friends.
They feel like this is a way to become.
I don't talk to
powerful in
them,
their
but
own
I've got
minds.
them.
This like sick, twisted way to try and get notoriety and therefore some kind of power even after they die. Now, I don't think that for Luigi that was the case, right? I don't know, but it didn't feel like that was the case for Luigi Mangione. But it doesn't matter because like the endless back and forth in the aftermath, the endless media cycle, looking at the motives and looking at the causes of why this kind of violence was outright celebrated, right? Allegedly with Luigi Mangione. That in and of itself, I think, created a media environment that made it so that other people would look at that and be like, I want that. Like, I want that for myself. I want this kind of fanfare, or I want this kind of endlessly diving into the background of someone like me, little old me, becoming high profile, which of course is genuinely worrisome for two different reasons. One, because it's just yet another, like the more high profile shootings take place and the more this kind of violence we are desensitized to, the more people will try to increase the intensity in the aftermath of that, especially if people in positions of power feel fearful. They will greatly clamp on those who they believe are responsible for this kind of radicalization. And it'll never be the systems themselves that are radicalizing people. It'll never be like the cost of paywalling healthcare for many Americans that universalizes that experience for them. It'll always be people like myself. It'll always be a media figure that played a role in this. And for the Republicans, it's very clear. It's not just people like myself either. It's also the Democrats as a whole. It's anyone that considers what Donald Trump is doing to be Nazi behavior, fascist behavior. Do you see what I mean? And they will do everything in their power to stamp out discontent. People have been chasing fame or infamy.
Valheim has a big problem, and it's only been getting worse. Just a couple of weeks ago, its Call to Arms update went live and delivered all kinds of both new content, but also changes to existing that brought thousands of players back to the game. Numbers are up on Steam to heights not seen since the holiday season, and as someone who makes almost exclusively Valheim videos on YouTube, I have noticed an obvious uptick in interest for the game. Despite all this, there is one common complaint I've seen countless of times across my video comments, the official Valheim Discord, and in chat on my live streams, and you guessed it, it's inventory, or lack thereof to be specific. Inventory space has been a complaint from players since the beginning. Reddit threads began popping up almost immediately in 2021, offering complaints and proposed solutions, yet the developers have remained steadfast in opposition to taking any action, but things may be soon changing. If you're new here, I'm Snazzy, and today we're going to dive deep into this inventory issue, explore the community sentiment, evaluate potential solutions, and of course,
The Trump political revenge tour is now in full swing. It's like the Taylor Swift Eras tour, but with a little more makeup and a whole lot more destruction of the rule of law. First up, Virginia. Why Virginia? Well, back in 2024, up in the great state of New York, State Attorney General Letitia James had the nerve to win a civil conviction in a court of law against citizen Trump for doing a bunch of real estate fraud. Then, in September of 2025, President Trump demanded that Eric Siebert, the senior U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, criminally indict Letitia James of New York for doing a bunch of real estate fraud. Siebert investigated Letitia James and found no crime. And so the president told Eric Siebert, "You're fired," which is bad enough because Eric Siebert is a highly competent prosecutor beloved by both Republicans and Democrats. He was uniquely qualified to run one of the most important U.S. attorney's offices in the country, where America prosecutes foreign spies and corrupt defense contractors. So who's on deck to replace him? Lindsay Halligan, a Florida insurance lawyer who has never prosecuted a case in her life and isn't even licensed to practice law in the state of Virginia, but she sure loves Trump and Pam Bondi. So let's examine the legality of blatantly weaponizing the DOJ, talk about what happens next, and see if we can predict where the Trump political revenge tour is heading next. Psst, it's Maryland, where I live. All 94 federal districts are important, of course, but some are more important than others. The Southern District of New York, which includes Manhattan, is a huge office with a deep bench of white-collar prosecutors. The U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia is the venue for cases we talk about on this channel every single week because it encompasses the nation's capital. The Eastern District of Virginia is less sexy, but it's still really important. You've got the Pentagon, the CIA headquarters, and the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office there. A ton of national security cases are prosecuted in EDVA. The court also has a very specific culture. Judges there move cases along at a rapid clip. And in fact, that's why they call it the rocket docket, because it moves so much faster than most federal courts. This is not a place that tolerates unprofessionalism or showboating, all of which is to say, you cannot have a political hack as the top prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia. It's got to be someone competent. And until September 19th, that's exactly what they had. Eric Siebert spent the past 15 years working his way up through the ranks at EDVA. Before that, he was a cop in Washington, D.C., and he went to a prestigious law school. He clerked for a federal judge. He started as a line prosecutor and got promoted to positions of increasing responsibility. And so, in short, he has exactly the resume you'd expect for someone in this high-profile position. TLDR, he did the work. So when Trump took office on January 20th, the incumbent U.S. attorney for the EDVA, that's Jessica Aber, resigned because she was Biden's person. Virginia's Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin recommended Siebert as her replacement. Trump named him as the interim U.S. attorney the next day. That interim appointment could only last for 120 days, but Under 28 U.S.C. Section 546, the federal judges in the district can choose someone to fill the position of U.S. attorney if the office becomes vacant. And that's what happened. Siebert was really good at his job, and so on May 9th, the EDVA judges unanimously appointed him to serve as U.S. attorney. Now, normally, a U.S. attorney has to be Senate confirmed, but under Section 546, once he was appointed by the judges, Siebert could have stayed in the position indefinitely, and that would have been okay with more or less everyone in Virginia. Siebert has strong ties to the state Republican Party. His father-in-law, Richard Cullen, served as both state attorney general and the U.S. attorney in EDVA. Cullen is currently counsel to Governor Youngkin, who recommended Siebert in the first place. And Siebert has the support of the state's two Democratic senators, Tim Kaine and Mark Warner. And so, on May 6th, President Trump nominated Siebert to hold the position permanently. And that was kind of a gimme for Trump. The Constitution says that the president can appoint principal officers with the advice and consent of the Senate, and that includes U.S. attorneys. But Senate confirmation takes a lot of time and political energy. Also, the Senate has what's known as the blue slip rule, which allows home state senators to effectively veto the nomination of judges and prosecutors in their backyard. So for 100 years, if both senators from a state didn't return this piece of paper blessing a nomination, a literal blue slip, then it did not go through. And Republican Senator Chuck Grassley, the spry 92-year-old chair of the Judiciary Committee, is not giving this up. He says it prevents one party from jamming through nominees who don't align with the values of the communities they would serve and ensures home state senators retain a say on behalf of their constituents. Siebert is a Republican who's supported by the Republican governor and also Virginia's two Democratic senators. Plus, he got the nods from the district judges, so he could keep working without worrying about timing out after 120 days. Total layup. Until this guy stuck his nose in and made a mess of it all. Bill Pulte is director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency and chairman of both the Federal National Mortgage Association and the Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation, known to generations of home buyers as Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Pulte's jobs give him access to information on every federally backed mortgage, and so he took Trump's enemies list and combed through all of their financial paperwork going back decades looking for some kind of crime to charge them with. Now, that would be a gross abuse in and of itself. The government's database of financial documents is supposed to be confidential. There was no probable cause.
Gonna make a phone call. Be right. Sorry about that.
Approaching Stargate.
I'll be right back. I had to do this walk so many times today. And I walked 5 miles today. God damn it. I'll take this with me.
Autopilot jumping. Warping to station. Warp drive active. Approaching station. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted. Docking permission requested. Autopilot disabled. Waypoint reached.
To believe that these people had done anything wrong. In fact, one of the scandals that brought down Richard Nixon was the revelation that he directed the IRS to audit his enemies. The president targeting his enemies used to be an impeachable offense, but even if Pulte had found evidence of crime in a totally legitimate way, The normal course of business would have been to quietly refer it to the Justice Department, but that's not what happened. Instead, Pulte's been blasting out allegations against Trump's political foes, spreading their personal financial information via Twitter and making conclusory statements about their guilt.
She said that she had a primary residence in Virginia. When she was the Attorney General of New York, she signed an affidavit. And on top of that, she had a second home, if you can believe that, in Virginia, that we believe is not her second home. So I believe this is riddled with mortgage fraud. And frankly, I think that's why she knew so much about the law in terms of how to go after President Trump. Was she was the fraudster, not President Trump.
I really don't have words to describe how inappropriate this is. For comparison, during the first Trump administration, Trump's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, had some hinky financial transactions that got flagged by a confidential law enforcement database known as FinCEN. That was not Cohen being targeted. It was an algorithm picking up an anomaly and generating what's known as a suspicious activity report. The IRS employee who leaked those reports to the public got 5 years in jail. But Pulte is just posting that stuff on Maine, and now the president is demanding that prosecutors charge his enemies based on Pulte's unproven accusations. At the top of that enemies list is New York Attorney General Letitia James. She's the one who brought the civil fraud suit against him and his company, along with his oldest children. In 2023, a judge found that the company was liable for years of fraud and ordered it to pay a $354 million fine. The appeals court reduced that fine substantially, but Donald Trump is still pissed. So Pulte went through decades of James's finances looking for something to pin on her. And then he published this criminal referral letter that he sent to Attorney General Pam Bondi, accusing James of making material misrepresentations in her mortgage paperwork to gain a financial advantage. James's lawyer, Abby Lowell, responded in his own letter to Bondi, calling Pulte's claims 3 pages of stale, threadbare allegations as part of President Trump's revenge tour against Attorney General James. It is not cool when people go snooping through your personal data, and that highlights why it's so important to remove your online personal data. Data brokers vacuum up your personal data from all corners of the internet and sell it to anyone who wants to buy it. But you can fight back by signing up for today's sponsor, Incogni. Incogni removes your personal data from online data brokers by searching the internet, reaching out directly on your behalf, and forcing them to take your personal info down. If those data brokers resist, Incogni will take care of that too, because Incogni fights back. These data brokers are the reason why in the US you can search your name and find a bunch of websites that will give anyone your home address, phone number, and extensive history. It is shocking just how easy it is to find all this information. It also might be why you're getting so many spam calls lately or even had your identity stolen. I've been using Incogni for years. In that time, you can see I've been on hundreds of lists, some of which had a high sensitivity score, meaning the broker had tons of data on me. Luckily, Incogni has completed hundreds of data takedowns for me over the years. I could never do this myself, so thank you to Incogni for weeks of work and adding me to over 40 suppression lists. And Incogni will continue to conduct ongoing removals because even if the broker removes your data once, they can collect it and publish it again. So if online privacy is important to you, give Incogni a try. If you click on the link on screen or down below, you can try Incogni risk-free for 30 days with a 60% off discount and get a full refund if you're not into it. And if you keep it, you'll still get the exclusive 60% discount so long as you use our link or the code LegalEagle, all one word. So sign up for Incogni or I will see you in court. Bill Pulte's referral letter for Tish James first landed on the desk of Ed Martin, the MAGA lawyer who was so embarrassingly incompetent that Senate Republicans refused to confirm him as U.S. Attorney for D.C. We made a whole video about that guy. After that debacle, Martin was shunted to the Justice Department and given a bunch of titles to soothe his wounded pride. He's an Associate Deputy Attorney General, Chief Pardon Lawyer, and head of the Weaponization Working Group, tasked with proving that President Biden targeted Trump and his allies. Martin immediately sent James a letter suggesting that AG James would best serve the good of the state and the nation by resigning from office and promising to take this as an act of good faith. He also showed up outside her house wearing a 1940s film noir-style hard-boiled detective trench coat, gumshoeing the trail of crime, you see. I'm not even kidding. This weirdo actually posted the pictures to social media. Normal prosecutors don't stalk their investigative targets on social media in cosplay, but in fairness, Ed Martin never prosecuted a case in his life before Trump gave him all those jobs in the Justice Department, so maybe not such a big surprise that he's been unable to find anything to pin on James or anyone else. Honestly, I'm not sure that guy could find his way out of the men's room at the DOJ without an aide to hold his hand and walk him out. But Eric Siebert is an experienced prosecutor, and he couldn't find anything to charge James with either. That's because most of what Pulte flagged amounts to ticking the wrong box on a long form. For instance, James wanted to help her niece buy a house in Norfolk, Virginia. So she agreed to co-sign the mortgage, and she executed a power of attorney to allow the niece to sign all the paperwork at closing. That POA wrongly stated that the property would be James's principal residence, that is, where she lived. But mortgage fraud has an intent requirement. You can't just do it accidentally. And here, the actual mortgage application said over and over again that the property was not James's primary residence. When Eric Siebert got the referral from Attorney General Pam Bondi, he took the thing to a grand jury and did his best to run it to ground. ABC reports that the U.S. Attorney's Office in EDVA interviewed 15 witnesses, including insurers, loan officers, underwriters, realtors, and James's niece. The underwriter said she didn't look at the POA at all, and why would she? It's a power of attorney to allow someone to sign documents, not a statement of finance. And the title lawyers testified that they're the ones who prepared the POA, and they just didn't correct the boilerplate template that said primary residence. Obviously, there's no intent to deceive and no fraud, which is why there was no indictment. According to the Washington Post, Siebert, his staff, and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's office agreed that there was not sufficient evidence to seek an indictment of James over the home purchase. Siebert also tried his best to make a real case against former FBI Director James Comey, whom Trump fired in his first term over the Russia investigation. Trump and his allies have been trying to indict Comey for years because they say he lied to Congress in September of 2020 about leaking classified information. The New York Times reports that Siebert subpoenaed witnesses in September and concluded that he could not charge Comey with perjury. He also declined to arrest Comey for making terroristic threats because Comey tweeted a picture of seashells at the beach that someone had arranged to say 8647. Tulsi Gabbard, the actual director of national intelligence, insists that this was a secret message to 86, the 47th president.
Posting something that is a call to get rid of our president, the 47th president of the United States, Donald Trump.
Okay. So Siebert, the IRL prosecutor with 15 years of experience, said there was no there, not for Tish James and not for James Comey. But that did not sit well with the president, who told reporters on Friday, September 19th, that he wanted Siebert out because Virginia's Democratic Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner like him too much.
When I saw that he got two senators, two gentlemen that are bad news as far as I'm concerned, when I saw that he got approved by those two men, I said, pull it, because he can't be any good.
According to the Post, Siebert resigned as U.S. attorney moments after President Donald Trump told reporters in the Oval Office, I want him out. But Siebert's resignation infuriated the president, who rage posted after midnight that he had withdrawn Siebert's nomination when I was informed that he received the unusually strong support of the two absolutely terrible sleazebag Democrat senators from the great state of Virginia. He didn't quit, I fired him. So if Kaine and Warner had been only tepidly supportive, it would have been okay, but a big thumbs up is the mark of the beast. Okay. What happened next is not entirely clear. Attorney General Pam Bondi named Republican prosecutor Maggie Cleary to run the office in EDVA, and Cleary did sign at least one pleading as acting U.S. attorney. But then Trump tapped out a series of posts yelling at Bondi for failing to indict his enemies. He said, Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time. All talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Statements like on social media? What statements? Trump called Siebert a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. He insisted that he had a great case, and many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Again, no legal pundits were named here. But then he said something even weirder. He said, Lindsay Halligan is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. The President of the United States is explicitly demanding that the Attorney General indict his enemies as payback because Congress impeached him and he was criminally indicted. That's crazy. Also, Lindsay who? Until 2022, Lindsay Halligan was an insurance defense lawyer working in Fort Lauderdale. She had 0 prosecutorial experience. She had 0 criminal law experience. Her biggest courtroom win involves serving as a second chair in a 2-day trial defending an insurer's refusal to pay out claims to Miami homeowners with damaged roofs. But she is very good on TV, which makes sense since she's a former beauty pageant contestant. Halligan was present at Mar-a-Lago when the FBI executed the search warrant there, and soon enough, she was in the middle of the action for all of Trump's legal woes, because Trump had a lot of lawyers that were willing to say a lot of outlandish stuff in court, but most of those lawyers were from D.C. or New York, and while Halligan had zero criminal legal experience, she did have something all those other lawyers lacked. She had a Florida bar card, and there has to be at least one lawyer on the case admitted to practice in the jurisdiction, which is how Lindsay Halligan wound up on paper, at least, as the lead lawyer challenging the warrant in Trump's stolen documents case.
They looked at God knows what in there and did God knows what in there. We have no idea. What the FBI did was an appalling display of abuse of power.
That lawsuit, doomed as it was, succeeded in throwing sand in the gears after FBI agents found hundreds of classified documents stored in various locations at the president's private club. But eventually, the 11th Circuit curb-stomped Judge Eileen Cannon's wildly illegal review of the search warrant, and the prosecution moved forward, but not with Lindsay Halligan. When it was Trump's tuchus on the line, he got lawyers who knew their way around a courtroom. Trump's Political Action Committee coughed up $3 million to persuade former Florida Solicitor General Chris Kise to leave his fancy law firm job and represent Trump in the documents case. Halligan's services were no longer needed once Kise, a lawyer with actual criminal experience, entered his appearance. But Halligan never really left Trump's orbit. When he returned to D.C., she came with him and was made Assistant to the President for Domestic Policy and Special Assistant to the President and Senior Associate Staff Secretary. What is it with these people all having like 7 job titles? On March 5th, Trump put out an executive order tasking Halligan with de-wokeifying the Smithsonian so it quits promoting narratives that portray American and Western values as inherently harmful and oppressive. Halligan has an undergraduate degree in politics and no background as a historian, but she told the Washington Post that her visits to the museum left her feeling dismayed with the lack of focus on the ways America is so special. So I guess she figured she was up to the job. And although she has virtually no criminal legal experience, she thinks she is also qualified to run one of the busiest U.S. attorney's offices in the country. On Monday, September 22nd, Halligan was sworn in as interim U.S. attorney in EDVA. Someone who has never prosecuted a case in her life is now riding the rocket docket. In Trump's Florida case, Halligan was at least qualified to be local counsel. All that required was a Florida bar card. But Halligan isn't even a member of the bar in Virginia. That's ridiculous. And the fact that Bondi demoted Maggie Cleary to serve as Halligan's top deputy, read, do all the real work, does not change the fact that this is an expression of pure contempt for the people who spent their whole lives working to develop the legal chops to run an office like EDVA. Lawyers are not like widgets. You can't just swap out one for the other. And I say this as someone who will admit to being absolutely unqualified to run a U.S. attorney's office. But I guess we're going to find out soon just exactly how corrupt Halligan intends to be. As Benjamin Wittes of Lawfare points out, if the DOJ wants to charge James Comey with perjury, the statute of limitations is about to expire in just a few days. But corruption aside, Halligan's going to run into another problem in a little less than 120 days when her appointment expires under Section 546, because the president says he intends to nominate her for a full term. But come January 20th, Halligan's going to be out of a job unless the Senate confirms her before that. And that seems highly unlikely for a whole host of reasons. First, the Senate moves very slowly. As of this recording, it has confirmed exactly 2 of the president's nominees for U.S. attorney. And second, there is no way Senators Kaine and Warner are going to return those blue slips. And if the home state senators don't sign off on a U.S. attorney nominee, that nominee doesn't move. And by the way, Trump and Grassley have been sniping at each other about blue slips for months. In July, the president screamed at Grassley on social media to end this probably unconstitutional custom and not let the Democrats laugh at him and the Republican Party for being weak and ineffective. Grassley shot back that a U.S. attorney/district judge nominee without a blue slip does not have the votes to get confirmed on the Senate floor, and they don't have the votes to get out of committee. As chairman, I set Pres Trump noms up for success, not failure. Incidentally, Grassley...
Gonna make a phone call. I'll be right back. cook some dinner. I'll be right back. Hello? Oops. Hello? Hey. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure you made it home okay. Okay, right on. Okay, I'm sorry to bug you. Okay, no problem. You want me to come up there? All right, I'll be right there. I'm sorry, guys. Got to stop the stream. I'll be right back. I don't know, like half an hour, maybe something like that.